The Olympique Lyonnais Academy is renowned for producing brilliant technical players such as Nabil Fekir, Anthony Martial, and the current Ballon d'Or holder Karim Benzema. Now it appears as though the French club have struck gold once more with an academy graduate this time, a right back by the name of Malo Gusto. The 19-year-old has already emerged as a key part of the setup at Lyon and has begun to attract interest from some of Europe's heavyweights, most notably Chelsea FC. In this video, as you have heard, we will be discussing Malo Gusto, the upcoming French right back that Chelsea have signed. So let's get into the video. Alright, so welcome to another edition of Chelsea Player Profile. This is the first player profile video, technical analysis that I've done since the rebrand to Chelsea Sessions. But let's get straight into the nitty-gritty, or the meat of the matter. Now, with the Blues eager to find an alternative to the increasingly injury-prone Reece James, Chelsea signed Gusto for 35 million euros, raising to 40 million euros with add-ons, with a teenager remaining at Lyon until the end of the year before joining Chelsea in the summer on a contract through to 2030. But what exactly are the attributes that Malo Gusto possesses that make him such a highly rated and sought-after prospect at such a young age? Much like many modern fullbacks, Malo Gusto is primarily an attack-minded player. Much of his value is earned from having the ball at his feet and manipulating opposition defenses. He's a fantastic progressive passer of the ball. More often than not, he's looking ahead for penetrative passes between the lines to unlock opposition blocks. So obviously, for those people who do know him, if you're using the video right now to look at his attributes, then you'd obviously see that aspect of him being able to make those penetrative passes. Obviously, in terms of the passing ability, we do know that Reece James is very well known for that as well. But, and the point about having a competitor for Reece James, or somebody that can be an alternative to Reece James, who has been struck by injury quite of late. He's been having injury issues since the second season of Lampard and the 2020-2021 season at that time, obviously. So it is important that Chelsea found somebody that could be of some competitiveness to Reece James and a competitor to Reece James. He often dribbles into certain zones and makes decisions from there, whether that be choosing to carry or pass the ball. As a former midfielder during his earlier years in the youth academy, it makes sense that Gusto has an inclination towards moving inside, as certain tendencies are difficult to outgrow. The young Frenchman is a willing and dangerous crosser of the ball. He can whip balls in as both an aggressive overlapping fullback, as is his preference, or from the half spaces as an underlapping fullback. Gusto really delivers his crosses with plenty of curve and velocity. My apologies. So the word whip is obviously the best thing to use. My tongue is very tired, but you know, imperfections are always good to share. He's particularly dangerous with his whipped crosses from deep, where defenders are often retreating to face their own goal, making it harder to read the trajectory of the crosses and deal with them adequately. That said, he could still improve on the accuracy of his crosses, as partially reflected by his single league honours assist this season and his 5 club assists in all competition last season. His willingness to cross the ball and his quality ball striking should allow him to improve in this respect, especially at his young age. Just as impressive as Malo Gusto's passing is his technical quality with the ball. He relied upon heavily to be involved in attacking sequences and possesses the footballing ability to do so at a high level. He has tremendous technical security, especially when tightly marked and when operating in half spaces. These are positives that you need to be thinking of, because if he does have that technical ability, it means that Reece James does indeed have a competitor, because we know that James is technical. He can get past players. He is a player with that ability of getting past players, having many touches, making little 1-2 touches here, and then progressing forward, receiving the ball back and then making a cross. So it's good to have a competitor for him in that respect, so that James, it doesn't become complacent. He doesn't have a situation of him believing that he's going to start every game, although at this moment he does deserve to start games whenever he's fit, because he offers a lot. But it's good to have a competitor for him. Now, Gusto's technical security is precisely why he's entrusted with so many touches, especially in advanced areas. Ranking above the 90th percentile in touches, touches in the middle and attacking third, and live ball touches is truly remarkable. These statistics are compared with other fullbacks in Europe's Big 5 leagues, and they show how the French youngster flourishes amongst his positional peers at the highest level of football, as also indicated by the statistics that you will find on FBrief or whatever statistical thing you use or website. My apologies, I'm also sick. I need to probably let that be known as well, so my voice will sound a bit affected. My apologies yet again. Malo Gusto is a fantastic dribbler from fullback, ranking in the 86th and 83rd percentiles in dribbles attempted and dribbles completed respectively. Gusto is more than happy to carry the ball forward and take on opposition defenders. This is one of the principal ways in which he enters advanced areas in order to provide passes or crosses to teammates. With space ahead of him, he is prepared to carry the ball considerably and at considerable distances and attempt dribbles where necessary, as he prioritizes affecting the game in the most advanced zones. He uses his deceptive strength and balance to maintain possession under pressure before finding a pass or racing away from his opponent. Although there is much to be said of Gusto's offensive acumen, he is admittedly weaker on the defensive end. This is something that I thought was important to share, because yes, he may be good in the offensive side, but obviously we do need someone that has that defensive ability as well, somebody that can chip in and help when the team needs to defend as well. He has a habit of losing concentration off the ball and subsequently ending up badly positioned to defend opposition attacks. That said, he's very quick, especially when accelerating from a standing position, so he can often make recovery plays and tackles, somewhat similar to that of an Aaron Wan-Bissaka that we know is at Man United. Also similarly to Wan-Bissaka, Gusto is often inclined to make sliding tackles. If you do know Man United like that, if you do know Wan-Bissaka as well, you know that his way of winning the ball back, if he's caught out, is by making tackles. Sometimes he's successful, sometimes he isn't really that successful, making away a free kick. So it's important to note these little weaknesses that Malo Gusto has as well. Whilst this doesn't help him beat opponents who may otherwise be difficult to tackle due to distance, it also makes him more susceptible to falling behind a play and leaving his fellow defenders exposed. Regardless, he's a tenacious tackler, and when positioned correctly, can make strong and confident tackles, but his positioning and focus are certainly concerns. Needless to say, Gusto would likely operate best in a system where his teammates dominate possession and territory, leaving the Frenchman to do less defensive work, instead focusing on his offensive gifts. Whilst he's far away from reaching his prime at 19 years old, he'll provide a healthy competition for the aging-prone Reece James, like I said, whilst also acting as an immediate upgrade on the aging Cesar Azpilicueta, which is something that I wanted to highlight as well. Azpilicueta may leave at the end of the summer in 2023, which is this year. So as a result, it's good to have somebody that can come in long term at such a young age where he's still developing. He can learn from James, can learn from other defenders that will be at the club and can have an impact on him and influence him in that respect. So yes, it's good to have competition, and for Azpilicueta, who is getting older, he's losing his feet more and more each season. It's good to have somebody that can chip in and do the work for the club whenever it's necessary and to offer that competition, like I've said. Now, to conclude this video, I would just like to say that Gusto thrives in a number of important statistical categories when compared to Chelsea's current right-back options. Although this is a fairly small sample size, taken just halfway through the current season, obviously he's been injured as well, so he hasn't really been playing a lot of games. Especially with Reece James having missed a number of games through injury, it is still evident that the Lyonnais man will play a major role with the London Giants should the reported intent of him actually coming to the club in that time remains the same, which is very likely. Like I said before, he's still only a teenager, so his best years are almost certainly still ahead of him. But I think it's safe to say that Gusto has already proven that he belongs at the absolute highest level. So in that respect, we have a good player. Chelsea have a good player on their hands, and if everything goes well in terms of development, no serious injury comes in and affects him in that respect, he will have a successful career as a footballer. And at such a young age, the future looks bright for him. It's just about stability, sustainability, and adaptability and consistency. So that's it in this video. Hope you guys enjoyed the first analysis Chelsea player profile video that I've done since this rebrand. I appreciate you guys once again. Cheers. Have a good one. And we'll see you guys next time. Cheers.
Best friend to 23, she left her body in Harvard above me.